Welcome everybody to episode 16 of Outdoors with MSA. Last week, you guys killed it. We had the most views we've ever had. You doubled the views we've ever had.
Yeah, 1,500 views, man.
Yeah, 1,500 views for two amateurs. We're definitely, I don't know if there's a rank below amateur, but we would definitely be that rank.
Right.
But you guys are showing us a lot of love, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then this week we're gonna go into some more college football. We actually have some real games this week that should be worth watching instead of some of these blowouts that we saw this last weekend. We got to talk about
Told you
ESPN and
their
whatever, dude. Nebraska is a dumpster fire. They need to just they need to pull a Bishop Young or Bishop Columbus, whatever that damn school was on ESPN, and just start pulling in failed NFL people, bro.
Right.
Do something in Nebraska. It's not working for them.
Right.
Let's go over our sponsors real quick before we get into all this. We got to thank Appalachian Custom Calls. They have some amazing products. Go check them out. Cause it's Rookum Juice. I love this stuff, dude. I can leave it in the truck and it gets super hot and it'll smell the same as if it was in room temperature. Like, I love this stuff.
It works, man.
Camo Dust. They're coming on today to talk to us, and I can't wait. They are going to be an amazing guest today.
Yeah.
And of course, a rocket scientist from VIP that came on a few weeks ago. If you didn't see that one, go back and check that one out because that was an amazing podcast as well. But they have some of the best broadheads on the market. The industry's starting to wake up to them. Y'all are going to hear a lot about VIP in the coming years. And then, of course, our raffle. Go get your raffle tickets. You're helping a good cause. You win some cool stuff. Go do it.
Plenty of time for them, man. Still got 9 days. 8 days.
9 days.
8 days till we draw that one. Yeah.
All right. Let's hop into these games, all right?
All right.
The first one, Ohio State, Minnesota. Now, Minnesota's not ranked, but I don't think it's going to matter. The Gophers are a sleeper team.
I think you're right. I think it's going to be a close game. I think down to like the fourth quarter, turnover decides the difference in the game. Not sold on Ohio State quarterback. So.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be that close. I mean, I think Ohio State wins. I think they win by probably 2 touchdowns, but I just think it's going to be a good game overall.
They got a hell of a good coach up there at Minnesota, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're great up there. The next one, you got Indiana at Iowa.
I'm taking Indiana.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mark. Mark is my dad, and he's a big Iowa fan, and Indiana's real, man. Like, I can't pick Iowa over Indiana on this one. And I've even been to an Iowa game. We went to the Rose Bowl back when they had McCaffrey at Stanford. And we watched Stanford destroy Iowa at the Rose Bowl, which was an amazing time. Great venue, just great atmosphere. But yeah, Indiana's probably taking that one.
I think they're going to win the West. So.
Yeah, Indiana's. Yeah. Indiana might win the Big Ten. I would pick them to win the Big Ten.
Very possible. Returning quarterback, great team.
Oh, yeah. And then I got a lot of friends who will be watching this one. Penn State at Wisconsin. Yeah. Oh, and I knew you were coming. Oh, and you picked Wisconsin. Okay. I'm
going to go Penn State. I'm going Penn State, man.
I don't know much about Penn State. I have a bunch of friends who are Penn State fans, and I still couldn't name you a starter on that team.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a close game now.
Okay. All right, Owen. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see if Wisconsin can pull it out. But I should be writing these down so we can keep track of them and see which one of us is smarter. Clearly me, but
Doubt it.
you'll be an honorable mention. Okay, the game that has produced more hype videos than I've seen for a week 1 matchup in a long time. Alabama versus Miami.
It's going to be a good game. If Miami comes to play, I think it's going to be a close game. Alabama should win this game by like 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. But I think it's going to be close.
Alabama should dog walk Miami. Now, De'Aaron King, the Miami quarterback, he reminds me of what's the dude in Arizona? Kyler Murray. He reminds me of a Murray.
Yeah.
Real mobile. Is pretty accurate on the run. But, boy, we're talking about SEC defense. ACC, you're not ready for that. You're not on that level. Sorry.
I agree. That's why I said Alabama should win by 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But
let's see.
If Alabama comes out flat-footed, I'm gonna win.
We got I didn't know was that LSU? Yeah. No. Is that LSU? Anyway, you got Louisiana versus Texas. Both in the top 25. Louisiana? I mean,
I don't know. I think Steve Sarkisian will have his guys ready. I think Texas will win.
Aren't you an SEC
We'll find
fan?
out. It's not LSU, though. LSU plays UCLA this week.
Well then who is Louisiana?
Louisiana University.
Okay, Texas wins. I don't even know who they are. Oh, here's an interesting one. Georgia Clemson.
This game's got me nervous, man. It's got college football playoff written all over it. I mean, that's where you'd expect to see this type of matchup. I think.
Not week 1.
Clemson's right. Clemson's returning everybody on defense. It's going to be a good game. I think Georgia comes out and plays Georgia Bulldog football, we'll win. If Clemson decides the tempo, Clemson wins. So, we'll see.
I will never vote for Clemson to win. They will lose every week. I hope Georgia walks the fucking dog on.
Don't get me wrong. I want them to beat them. I'm a Bulldog fan for life, dude.
I just can't even pretend. Like I have no love for Clemson. You're supposed to be like, oh well, it's a Carolina team versus another out-of-state team. You should go for the Carolina. No.
Right.
I can't.
I don't blame you.
And then Pitt is sorry, Dan. I can't pick Pitt. You might finish 3rd in the ACC, maybe.
I mean, they got a 4-year starting quarterback coming back this year at Pitt. It's possible. I mean, I think that they could win their division, at least finish behind Carolina at least.
No, Carolina's going to be right underneath Clemson. Like that.
I don't know, man.
UNC.
I think UNC could win it all.
Between Pitt and Penn State, I'd rather Pitt have more success. Them Penn State fans are just obnoxious. I can't.
So are Tennessee fans.
Oh, we're not even going to talk about Tennessee fans. They're like Cowboys fans. Oh, we got everything. We're winning it all this year.
Yeah.
What happens? You turn into a dumpster fire by mid-season.
Right. Yeah.
No faith. No faith in them. Any other games you wanted to hit on?
Alma Mater, Liberty. The Flames play Campbell. Should be a blowout. Malik Willis is the guy to watch, though, for the Flames. Potential Heisman candidate. Dude's legit. Kind of reminds me of Steve McNair. He's good.
All right, so South Carolina is playing Eastern Illinois, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried for South Carolina here because we're starting a graduate assistant coach at quarterback. He played
Well,
at North Dakota and another team, like Illinois State or something.
Iowa
And
State.
he's Iowa State, yeah. And he still had
He
a
actually
year
had.
left of eligibility, and we're gonna throw him on the field because Luke Doty got hurt. Uh, I'm worried. I like Beamer. I think Beamer's going to be a heck of a coach for South Carolina. He recruits with the best of them. But that Illinois, I mean, Illinois should be an easy dub. It's just we don't. We'll see what kid has got at quarterback.
I think this guy will surprise you. You know, he threw up pretty good yards at Iowa State. He sat behind Lance at North Dakota State. And surely God, West Virginia will beat Maryland. You know,
Sean,
surely.
Sean, you said we better pick West Virginia over Maryland.
Yeah.
If this was
Surely
5 years ago, I would say no doubt. I don't have that much
Is
faith in
Maryland
West Virginia,
returning?
buddy. I mean, I have no faith in Maryland either. I think this is going to be one of those games like we talked about earlier. One turnover is going to decide it. Uh, but
Yeah.
I like West Virginia more than Maryland. So yeah, Sean, I'll pick West Virginia. Sure, why not?
I'll go with the Mountaineers.
Nick, you like how my bottle just disappears? You don't know what I'm drinking.
Right. Let's get you.
All right. So let's talk. We brought it up earlier. Let's talk about this high school team that duped ESPN.
Like, how do you do that? How?
Everybody at ESPN needs to go. You need to fire the person who made the logo needs to go. Everybody. You got to get rid of everybody. Start over. Because you mean to tell me you didn't do a quick Google search? I Googled them. I couldn't find nothing.
Right. Well, I mean, and what if a high school kid got hurt from it, you know? That's a potential lawsuit right there.
Oh, yeah. But see, I won't put all the blame on ESPN because IGM should have had questions. Like, hey, ESPN,
Yeah.
where's the film? Can we get any film on these guys?
Right. Well, and not just that, you know. I mean, what's that Adam Sandler football movie, man?
The one they're in prison?
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what
Longest
the
yard?
game was, you know. The longest yard. That's pretty much what it was. High school
Mean
kids
machine.
up against the Mean Machine. So, I mean,
He shit himself.
they should have just done some better research. I just hope the kids were. IBM, though, powerhouse high school football team, multiple D1 prospects every year.
IGM could beat some of the college teams. Like, they're good.
They'd beat Tennessee. I mean, seriously.
For a nonprofit
you know,
that's based out of Tennessee, we talk way too much shit on Tennessee for our fan base. You know that, right?
Yeah. I can't help it. I can't help it at all. Yeah.
So, transitioning from football into what happened over last weekend, we had our velvet hunt that we had kept talking about. As you can tell by the lack of excitement talking about this, neither one of us harvested or saw a buck, but we learned some things.
Absolutely, man. We have no clue where the deer are. You know, the deer that we had on camera just magically vanished overnight. Everything we've been preparing for and prepping for they completely changed. Went to a different food source. Super hot though, man. Yeah, super hot. You know, so I feel like we probably should have hunted the evening more than we did in the mornings, which was cooler in the mornings. But everything led toward deer movement being at night, at least according to the Hunt Stand app, which is what I used. Expected peak movement, you know, between 5 and 8 p.m. all 3 nights. So that's probably what we should have done.
Probably. I shouldn't have gone in so blind. The picture I have behind me now is actually from a spot that I found while I was out there. That is right next to a creek, and I was just sitting behind this log waiting for him to come get a drink of water on that hot day. And there was just, I mean, that creek is so long, and then there's a river behind it. There's so many places for them to go get a drink.
Yeah.
There was no telling which way they'd go.
I mean, I did see 2 deer. I saw a doe and a fawn at 30, downwind of me, and I mean, they didn't pay any attention to me. Didn't even know I was there, man. So
I
fully
do like
dusted
that
and
camera
camo dust.
Yeah,
Oh, it works.
I like
I
it
mean,
more
it
than the
works.
spray.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because with the spray, as soon as I start sweating, I'm like, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
But the dust, I can actually carry it with me because it's not sloshing around. Anyway, we'll talk more about that when Chris comes on here in a little bit. Don't want to get too deep into the camo dust now.
Yeah.
Some of our guys went out on a dove hunt on the first and had some success. They killed it. Kind of wish
Had to work.
I would have remembered. I forgot. I just straight up forgot. I was going to go
forget
to
when we talked about it for 2 weeks?
Yeah, ask my wife. She'll tell you it happens. It's easy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I forget things.
It happened. I had to work, so would have been a good day though.
Yeah.
I saw more doves yesterday than I've seen all summer long. I think that storm pushed them up. They're definitely out eating, 3 days rain. They're gonna eat.
Yeah, me and you might have to get together and go out one day. Just see what we can do.
That's fine.
Plus, I need to go back up there and put a camera out. I pulled that one camera that was getting pictures in the back. I'm still learning with these cell cams. I learned that what it says your battery's at is not always where it's at.
Right. I saw 2 beavers, so I'm gonna go trap beavers tomorrow morning. It's become personal. They flooded my property.
Talked about these beavers. You asked me how to blow up a beaver dam, and
I'm gonna trap the beavers, and then I'm gonna blow up the beaver dam.
And how are you gonna do that?
Me and you are gonna dig some holes and put tannerite in it and blow it up.
How much tannerite are you gonna use?
8 pounds.
Yeah, you don't want to shoot Saturday morning. I would, but I think I have plans on Saturday morning, Gabe. If those plans change, I'll get with you.
Got my kids this weekend, man.
Speaking of which, do you have a football team yet, or do you got a starting 5 for basketball?
I'm gonna go put my cell cam out at the beaver dam place, trap the beaver dam, and hopefully kill some beavers over the next couple days. And then I'm gonna bring you in, and then me and you're gonna blow it up.
You lagged on me a little bit. You said you had your kids on Saturday, and I asked if you have a whole football team yet, or just a starting 5 for basketball.
I just starting 5 for basketball. I'm trying to get the 6th man, but I don't know if the wife will let me. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan, you need to slow down too, my guy. Speaking of having kids, you got to give that girl a break. I don't think there's a time y'all have been together she ain't been. I'm talking to Dan, a buddy of mine.
Wow.
He's just about as bad as you, just pumping them out. Y'all are factories.
Bible says be fruitful and multiply. Got to do it. Way to go, Dan.
No, too many. Bro, I lose my mind with one. And I really do think it takes special people to have more than one. Because I'm telling you right now, if me and my wife had more than one of us would be.
Man. Once you have more than one, they pretty much start babysitting themselves. They have their own little friends and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
It sounds like it every time I call you. Yeah, sounds like fun.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I came from a big family. I got a ton of brothers and sisters. You know, now my kids have a ton of brothers and sisters. Well, one sister.
I didn't have a lot of brothers and sisters. I had a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
So, y'all keep pumping out friends for my kid to play with, and we'll just call them cousins, and we'll be cool with it.
Right.
So,
anyways, any
got
plans for opening weekend of Bow?
Opening
weekend of Bow is coming up. Yeah.
You're gonna
last Saturday.
hate this idea, but I'm really looking into those tree saddles.
Into the tree saddle?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for whoever wants to use it. I had 2 friends last year fall out of a tree saddle. Ropes broke, whatever the issue may be, and got hurt pretty bad. One of them is a vet in our organization, super good guy. It took him forever to recover. So you won't see me doing it. I think I'm going to go hunt public land opening day.
Really?
Yep. I think I'm going to, I think I might take a couple of bucks with me, man. That way when I shoot a deer, I have somebody help me drag them out.
Yes, that's why we hunt in pairs, because I'm not dragging the deer out by myself.
Yeah, you should come hunting with me. Good public land, hunt a deer. Yeah.
Speaking of deer, I'm actually going to get I'm going to get to hunt before you, because Georgia's opening day of bow season starts before Tennessee, so I'm going to get to go out
maybe.
Public land here.
Well, maybe I need to get my hunting license for Georgia and come down deer hunting with you.
You keep talking about it.
Yeah, I know. I'll do it. Speaking of deer hunt, we got a deer drawing to do. Nebraska. We're sending 2 vets out to Deuce Outfitters Ministry. So, John, if you want to pick a random number between 2 random numbers between 1 and 29, those will be our winners for the Nebraska deer hunt. That was purchased for through our MSA Slam.
Let's go with 11.
Okay.
23.
11 and 23. Sounds like good numbers. Congrats, number 11 and number 23. I don't have the post up to see what your name is. So, P, this evening or later today, and we'll get it set up. So, they're going to Nebraska October 6th, hunting the 6th through the 9th. It's going to be a good time for mule deer or whitetail.
So, can I go?
I'll really enjoy it.
One of those numbers mine?
Do what?
I said, can I go? Or one of those numbers mine?
I'd love for you to go, man. I think Chris would love for you to go.
I know. Yeah, he would. I don't have the money to go out to Nebraska right now.
He begs me to go all the time. We need to get him on here now that we're video, so he can actually talk. And they just did a huge
for the 350.
September 10th.
September 10th, Sean.
$10 a ticket, 3 for 25, 15 for 100. So not sold as many as that I was hoping for. So we really need to push those sales.
Do you want to talk about that limited time shirt we're going to come out with, or we're just going to keep that under wraps until it's time to?
The Turkey Slam shirt we're going to. We could talk about how we're looking for a sponsor. As far as I don't want to go into detail about the color of the shirt, stuff like that. But here at Outdoors with MSA, we're searching for a primary sponsor for the 2022 season. For the year, actually. $1,000, that's going to get you your logo on our MSA shirts. This logo right here will be gone. It'll be just your primary logo. It'll be your logo on the front of our shirt. We're going to sell them for our Turkey Slam shirts and our Deer Slam shirts. Plus, you'll be our primary sponsor for our podcast.
But our logo will be on the back of the shirt, right?
Yeah, correct. And so, that $1,000 is going to be used to purchase 4 cameras for all 4 chapters, so they could start videotaping the trips and telling the stories of these vets and first responders. and that way we can start airing these on like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and
That's
while we do the
something I think we
podcast on
need.
Thursdays.
I've had a lot of people come up or message me and be like, "Hey man, y'all need to do something throughout the week, even if it's just a quick little 15-minute thing."
Yeah.
Because and I do agree we need to have some shorter things because not everybody's got a whole hour to sit here and listen to us drone on about nothing.
Well, true. You know what? We are going to go live on our draft for our fantasy league football Saturday night, 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. We got 2 leagues, $20 pay in, 50-50 payout. You should join us.
I'm gonna smoke you in that, even though I taught you everything that you know. Dude, I retired from fantasy football because I was too good.
I'm a smoky dude. I'm going to finish first in both leagues.
You just get your jar of jalapenos ready.
Yeah. Damn. Just cut me deep like that, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you, that everybody agrees. You said jalapenos.
I did not say jalapenos. I said jalapenos. It's AS. AS.
You said N-E or E-N-I-S.
No, I didn't. But that's all I'll give, man. I mean, if that's what brought us our 1,500 views, if that's what brought us our 1,500 views, I will gladly rock that all day, every day.
That should be one of the specialty shirts we come out with. A little combat jalapeno.
Absolutely. I mean, we might as well, dude. I mean, that rocks for me, man. So. Well, let's get Chris in here, dude. Send him an invite.
I sent him the invite.
Did you? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he's seeing it. Hopefully he's refreshing his computer, comes in and sees it. I'm excited to have him on.
Yeah.
Super good guy.
Do we want to talk about the NFL at all?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about it. We got the draft Saturday. Why not?
Panthers win it all.
No.
Nothing needs to be said. We're good.
I think Carolina will finish second in their division. I think the Bucs will win it. I think Carolina will finish second.
The Bucs. Who are the Bucs?
The Bucs. The Tampa Bay Bucs.
No. They don't exist. We're not worried about them.
I actually think it's going to come down to St. Louis, or not St. Louis, but the Rams and Tampa in the NFC West or in the NFC Championship. So I think that, the Rams have the real potential to go to the Super Bowl this year. They just locked in a solid running back.
Ooh.
Big Georgia Bulldog. Sonny Michel.
See that comment? See that comment right there at the bottom?
No, I'm not shaving it, dude. I'm bald, man. Why am I going to shave my beard? That's the only place I got hair. I'm bald on top of my head, man.
Think of the views, my guy. Think of the views. Well, here is Chris.
Hey, Chris. How's it going, Chris?
What's up, guys? I'm great. How about y'all?
View I like.
Good, man. Glad to have you on.
Yeah, good to be here.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris Parnell from Camo Dust, huge vet supporter and one of our sponsors for Here with Outdoors with MSA. And let's talk some Camo Dust, dude.
Let's talk it.
Yeah.
What you got, guys? It's a dry powder that eliminates the human scent. I mean, you can't. Everybody that uses it tells me it's the best stuff they've ever used, and it's dry. So
yeah,
everybody.
We touched on it earlier, and I was like, I love that I can just throw it in a pocket or a pouch and carry it, and then if I feel like I need it while I'm up there, I can just.
Yeah.
Now, Anthony did it a little. His technique, while it was effective, it just looked weird. He would take the sock by the end and sling it over his shoulder and hit his back.
Yeah. The way I'll kind of turn in. I'll use the wind. I use it as a wind checker also. A lot of guys use milkweed. I use my sock all the time sitting in because the deer are going to come from downwind. The deer, big deer are always going to scent check downwind. You hunt a doe trail, you want to hunt the downwind side because that's the way the buck's going to be checking. You want to make your shot a little shorter. That's how I hunt anyway. But I'll powder down from head to toe, or I start at my boots and I work my way up, concentrating on my crotch, my armpits, and then I'll take my hat off and I'll fill my hat in and I'll put them on in my hair, and then put my hat back on. And I do the same thing with my gloves. I don't wear gloves walking in, but when I get in, I'll powder down my gloves and my face mask or whatever I'm wearing. Little necklace I have that covers half my face, and I'll make sure it has dust on it also. But while I'm at the truck, you're checking the wind. That may determine where you're going to hunt. A lot of guys, you check the wind and the weatherman tells you it's going to be blowing one way, and you get to the parking spot and it's completely different. And, I hunt I would say 98% of the time is public land hunting. So I'll determine from there. I have gotten in the truck and completely moved to a different. I wanted to hunt a difference with that wind. So, but you're powdering down and the wind kind of blows. I'll turn around and let the sock blow into my back. Try to cover every single inch of my clothes. This stuff is fine for the talc. It's going to saturate every pore of your clothes. And when y'all shake a dust, I don't know if y'all have you shown everyone the sock and how much powder it is. Here, I've got one right here.
No.
When you pull it out, it comes in a little can like that right there. I mean, the sock comes in it. So when you buy it, it's 6 ounces of that right there in a can. And you can see the dust in there. So the dust you see, and y'all can't see that because of the camera, but there's a ton of I'll take my hat and just every little particle is going to eliminate a human scent. And the human scent molecules moisture. We've dried all the free moisture out of this dirt and then put it through a patented process. And that's how it works. The scent molecules moisture, as it travels through your clothes, it's going to latch onto the dry dirt. And as the scent, once it latches on, the patented process we put the dirt through neutralizes and eliminates the human scent. So you're sitting there, scent free. You've got a wall. It's a barrier. It's not a cover scent or a masking agent. It's a barrier. So, that you're always sloughing off skin. You're always putting off body odor. We think we've got it pretty near perfect. Go ahead.
What I like about it is that, you're not spraying cold stuff on you when it's freezing cold outside. You're not putting a wet substance on your body.
We're fighting the frozen
20
bottle.
degrees outside.
Yeah. I'm bad about I never put my bag inside my truck. I keep it in the back of my truck. It stays in my garage closet, really is where it stays. But during hunting season, I'll put it in the garage. And it gets, it's been freezing in my garage, but I may get home at 9:30 at night from hunting and leave it in the back of my truck overnight. Well, then you go out there and everything, your water bottle's froze. You've got to start all, you got to go get another bottle of water or whatever you're going to carry. I'm not going in a gas station at, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And where I hunt, it's public. I have been known to walk 2.9 miles away from the truck to get to an area. Yeah, that's walking around a beaver slough and all that. So I could ride in on a boat, but it's just a lot of work for a deer. It's easier to just take off walking, just walk slow and powder down about every quarter to a half. We'll walk the first mile and then we'll stop, take a break, and kind of powder down. I hunt with my dad and brother most of the time. We hunt together just so you help each other drag deer out, 2 miles from the truck, dragging the deer out on public ground, or you walk all the way back to the truck and get the cart and then drag the deer out. So when you're that far back, you want to shoot a good buck. You don't want to shoot. We get mad at each other for shooting does. That's why you think, you're out here hunting and you're trying to show how Camo Dust works. I've got a lot of videos on my phone. I'm not shooting a doe 2 miles from the truck. She's
That's too far to drag, man.
Bad of a tote. I guess I could quarter out and haul it out, but there's a lot more doe closer to the truck.
Yeah.
But But yeah, 6 ounces, man. It's so simple. It's 6 ounces. It does not have because it stays dry until it soaks up moisture or the human scent. It's good to go. I had a guy. He just told me this the other day. One of his buddies found one of our original Camo Dust cans, probably 25 years old, and it was in a store here in Arkansas. And he texted him and asked if it's still good. And my buddy texted me and I said, sure. I said, as long as it's not wet or clumpy, and he shook it and it was just as powdery as it was the day we made it. And he killed a deer last year using some 25-year-old Camo Dust and still used it. Bought all 6 boxes that store had. And, so it's, who knew? It's so simple. It's not a big contraption. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't freeze. I mean, we're the only dry scent eliminator that I know of on the market. And it's so simple. You just powder your clothes down and go beat their nose.
It works,
Oh, absolutely. It works. It's easy for me to say. My dad invented it. So I've been using it since I was 12 years old, so there's no big deal. It's nothing for me to go and see deer within 8 steps of the base of my tree or watch them cross my deer trail. I've been doing it pretty much my whole hunting career, and probably should have shot a lot more deer than I have, but it's just fun to watch. It's fun to beat them. It's fun to beat their nose. I had a guy when we first come out on the market with it about 3 years ago. I had a guy from Louisiana. Every single time he hunted this area, he got busted by this old nanny doe, and she was killing him. And he had big deer. He had pictures of big deer. We're texting back and forth, and he's sending me big pictures of some big deer. But every time he hunted this one ground blind where this deer was at, it didn't matter which way he went in, this doe would blow at him, and he never could. I said, well, shoot her. He's like, I can't get her close enough. And I said, well, buy a couple of cans of Camo Dust, powder down, sneak in there, and then powder your blind inside and out, and get all that scent off of it, and then shoot her. And I said, shoot her that afternoon. I said, I guarantee you she will not smell you. And he went in there, he powdered it. I told him, wash your clothes. Don't run them in the dryer. Let them air dry so you don't have dryer sheet smell or, the heated coils from your dryer or whatever. I just stay away from the dryer. And let them hang dry and then powder them down and then go kill that deer. Well, he sent me a message the next afternoon and said, I smoked her, 23 yards. She come right in. She was looking at the blind. Come in, circle the thing completely to get downwind to try to win him. And that's what she was doing. She knew he was there because she smelled him. It didn't matter which way the wind was blowing or what. She was going downwind, smelling him, and then ruining the area. So he changed the game. He ended up killing that deer, and I posted it on the Facebook page. So it's probably should have wrote a big write-up with that, but he smacked that old nanny and got her out and then went to killing bucks. So he got buddies in Texas that have shot 200-inch deer using it. It's easy. If everybody used it one time, everybody in America would. It's so easy for me to say, but I hear it so much from guys. I killed my biggest buck using Camo Dust,
I mean, if you walk into a Bass Pro Shop or a Walmart, you see the aisle, and it's like a full damn aisle of bottle after bottle after bottle of spray.
Yeah.
And almost every hunter has tried a bottle. Like, I don't care how bad you think you are. You've tried a bottle. Like, maybe this will help. Yeah. Just try it. Like, this is so much easier. Like I said, I put it in my pocket and just no sloshing. Because who's carrying a bottle this big to your stand? Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm not knocking the bottle. I don't use the liquid spray because I have Camo Dust, but if I can't beat that deer's nose and make you 100%, I'm not going to say I can 100% eliminate human scent. I can't do that. It's just you figure that out. You'd be a rich man. But here's the deal. I can get, and I've got guys that have killed. There's a couple of buddies of mine that one of them's killed 27 Pope and Young deer on public ground using Camo Dust. That's a feat in itself. And even if you're not 100% scent free, or let's say you're as good as you're Camo Dusted down, if they smell you, they're going to think you're 300 yards away instead of 30 at full draw. That's the best way to explain it. That's the way he explains it. I can be at 30 at full draw, and they think I'm 300 yards away. Here's the deal: whether it works well enough to make that deer, it takes the fear and flight completely away from the deer. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of deer that have hit my trail that I walked in on, throw their nose up, whether it be buck or doe, throw that nose up, go to licking, throw it up, and then turn and come straight to me. There's nothing in there that is an attractant, but it completely takes the fear out of it. I like to tease and say, man, that's that deer's very first breath of fresh air. It's almost like I say, just clean the air. There's no human scent to it, though. Camo Dust is odorless. Does not have an odor. We don't add anything in it that has an odor. It just smells like dirt. Every once in a while, I'll open a can up and I'll smell chocolate chip cookies, but I promise you, there's nothing in there. It's just earth. It's a certain type of dirt that we run through a process, and it eats the human scent. It lives on it. So that's its old goal in life.
It just reminds me of moon dust when we were in Iraq. Every time you'd step on it, just poof everywhere. Right. And that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah,
just take all over you.
It's a really fine powder. I mean, you got to get it that fine, because we want it in every pore of your clothes. The more you put on, you don't have to wash your clothes as often. Now, I know early season, you're going to sweat a lot. You need to wash your clothes. You need to stay clean. That smell, you produce an odor, smells like a locker room, but Camo Dust will cut it way back. You may not have to wash as often using the dust. So it's one of those deals. You get, mid to late season where it's cool and you're walking in with a long sleeve shirt and maybe a light jacket and hunting an all day sit. You're just sitting there powdering down as the day goes along. That's the thing. What I recommend, you powder down at the truck. Real good dust from head to toe, front to back, and then, walk to your stand. I've got a long walk. We walk slow. I'll powder down. If I've got a buddy that I know is hunting a little area that's between my truck and where I'm going, when I get to where he's, going to be, I don't want to booger a deer up walking through the woods. So I'll powder down, when I'm going to walk that quarter, through that little area or that ridge. If I'm crossing that ridge that he's hunting, I don't want to mess a deer up. So I'll powder that ridge down and or powder myself down, and then I'll walk on past him. But if nobody's in there and I know nobody's hunting, I'm hoofing it to a certain spot, powdering down again, and pretty much just a rest spot is what we call it. We're going to walk to the tee and then rest, and then we're hitting the big woods and walking another 2 miles. So it's just powder down. A lot of people don't hunt farther than a quarter, or they'll ride their four-wheeler in, powder down at your four-wheeler real good, and then walk to your deer stand. And before you climb up, powder down again, and then when you're sitting in the deer stand, here's the thing. You're sitting in a box stand. Even in a box stand, you're thinking, I'm in a box stand, it's going to keep my scent in. Well, when you open that window, it's like a chimney stack of scent just leaving that window. A lot of times you have just one window open, to keep it black in there and keep it dark, even in a hunting blind. Well, you're making a smokestack of human scent. You're making a hot box is what it is. And your scent's just sitting in there. Dust inside of that blind, dust yourself down. You want to kill that scent while you're sitting in that blind also, and don't give those deer any chance. We're there to kill them. There's no doubt about it. We want to shoot the biggest one in the woods. Everybody that goes hunting wants to kill the biggest one out there. So I don't want him to ever walk past anyone, and I want to kill the next world record with somebody using Camo Dust. He's out there, and I know I can beat his nose. I just need to have the right guy using the Camo Dust and shoot him at 8 yards. Let him get in there close. Who's going to let a 250-inch deer get 8 yards from him? But wouldn't it be nice to say you did it? Because I think we could beat his nose.
It's not going to be either one of us, bud. I'm sorry.
Hey, if I see my
we might get you a 105, a 120. But
first killing opportunity, I'm swinging an arrow at him. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can't even get you a 105.
Hey,
I'm the world's worst deer hunter.
I'll tell you, a public land doe that walks through the woods looking up, you beat those. That's just like shooting 140. That's like shooting a Pope and Young buck. Them 4 or 5 year old doe that people let walk. They don't have those fancy handles to help drag them out on public ground like those bucks do. So a lot of them get to walk unless they blow. They blow, they go. So, you know, they'll pick you out. They'll pick you out moving. I get picked off from bumping my bow or you know, even standing up. I've gotten caught a couple of times. I let deer get in a lot closer than what they should, just because I want to see the product work. I want to see how close I can get them to the tree. I'll hunt their trail. I'll walk across their trail. I try to make sure that I'm doing stuff that other guys really wouldn't do. You know, I play the wind different because I want to see the deer do certain things. That's my job, is to make sure I'm putting the best product. I think Camo Dust is the best product on the market when it comes to eliminating scent. And it's easy for me to say it because I've tested it, you know, in the field. I need to really buy a camera and start videoing this stuff and getting pictures in close and stuff like that. But guys that have used it tell me, you know, I hear hundreds of stories a season about, you know, straight down wind or deer close. I love it when a guy sends me a picture and says, this is my best buck ever. And I promise you it's because of Camo Dust. That makes me happy. You know, it's for the dad that's just a weekend warrior. You know, this is a game changer for him when he wants to take his kids out there and get them in the woods and be successful, or at least see deer. You want kids to see deer. Well, if a deer is 100 yards through the woods and they smell you, you're not ever going to see them. But if they're coming to that tree you're hunting, or that feed tree that you've went out there and found, or you got lucky, or you've got a spot where you always see deer, you take those little ones out there. They smell too, but you dust them down and you're dusted down, and you know they get to see a deer come in at 15 or 20 yards. It makes an impression on them, and then you've got a hunting partner for life. You know, so everybody wants their little ones to hunt. So,
how many hunts does one sock usually last you?
I like to say 8 to 10 on a normal guy. I've got guys at 3 or 4 hunts. Mine lasts me about 6 to 8 hunts. Anywhere from 6 to 10 hunts would be a good. It depends on how far you walk. Depends on the weather. You know, how often you wash your clothes. I don't wash my clothes very often. Now I don't wear my outer layer to the tree, and if it's hot, I'm not wearing anything to the tree. I'll change right there at the base of the tree, and just kind of wipe down, and then keep everything in a 2-gallon turkey bag, I guess is what it's called, just a Ziploc bag, and I'll roll it up and stick it in my backpack, and then I'll powder down as I apply a layer, you know. But it's hot here in Arkansas. It's going to be 90 degrees when season opens, and you walk to your favorite spot that's 2 miles off, you're going to sweat. You're going to sweat when you're in the trees. So I have a pair of gloves. I do, you know, that time of year, I will wear a pair of gloves, and I'll wipe the sweat or I'll carry a little chamois, like a swim towel, and I'll keep that on me as I'm wiping sweat as I go. And then I'll dust it down, stick it in my bag, and seal it. And, you know, you're walking back to early season, those deer are still a little dumb. They're not as wild, you know, that first couple of days of deer season until they start getting pressure. That's, you know, public land hunting. People start walking around, and then they get a little tougher to hunt after that first week for sure. So you really have to watch it.
So Chris, I know we can get your product on Amazon, and we also know we can get it at camodust.com. Where else are you in any other retailers besides just Amazon or camodust.com?
Yeah, there's about 34 or 35 stores I'm in, mainly here in Arkansas. I've got a couple in Oklahoma, Louisiana, North Carolina. There's a couple of stores. If you guys know of a local bow shop that, or any of your viewers that they want Camo Dust to carry, shoot me a message on Facebook Messenger, and I'll call them and try to get it in there. So I'll put it in every store in America. It's got to be easy to get to, you know, as easy as it is to use. You go to your bow shop, grab a can or two, and, you know, take it to the woods, keep one in your truck. And that way, if you cost? Suggested retails around $14. Okay. Mine's on the internet, it's $12 plus shipping and handling. So Amazon's so 14, anywhere from $13.85 here in Arkansas. around $14, $15 is what they're selling them for. So.
And I saw on your website, like you have bundle deals too. Like if you buy the 6-pack, it's a little bit less.
Yeah, I've got a little price break in there. You buy a single from me on the Facebook or on the website with shipping and handling. It's $21 a can. If you buy 2, it's $35, and if you buy 6, it's about $78 for a 6-pack. So there's a little price break in there when you buy the bundle pack. The more you buy, the ship. Yeah, right. Yeah. And you're going to use 6 cans. I've got a ton of repeat buyers. Of course, I feel every can in every order, and so you remember names or stuff like that, and you'll see guys that have, I've got guys that'll order a 6-pack, and then about halfway through the season they're ordering another one, and then they're coming back the next. They're maybe 3 in one season, maybe, and those are guys that are, and I'll get pictures. A lot of those guys that I've posted pictures up on Facebook are buying, they're buying Camo Dust and using it a lot. And they hunt a lot too. So, the more you hunt, the farther you walk. So,
it'd be perfect for, like you said earlier, that weekend warrior dad who maybe gets, 7 days throughout the whole deer season to get out. A can's going to last you.
You buy a double. Yep.
2 years.
Well, he'll go through 2 cans. You say 7 or 8 hunts, but yeah. I mean, you buy a double just because it's cheaper. That's the best deal out there is the double. It's $35 for 2 cans, and then that's shipped to your house, and you'll get it. You put if I get the order in before 2, I'm gonna ship it out that day. It's if once season gets busy and there's a ton of orders, it's hard for me to after 2 o'clock to get those orders out into the post office. But yeah, it's I try Wednesday. I always like to say if you get them in by Wednesday, you'll have the can by Friday if the post office does their job. And you'll be hunting, Friday evening. You can go out there and scout. Man, the thing about Camo Dust, if you're like right now, you need to be using Camo Dust. It's hot. People are starting to bait. People are starting to run cameras, or they've been running cameras. Anytime you go in the woods, you need to have Camo Dust on. You don't want that deer to know you're there. You don't want anything to change. The only thing that's different is, hey, I've got a bait pile up here, and then they've done some food plot work. And that's just normal stuff to a deer, but you don't want him to smell you. Running cameras, I've got trappers that use it. Predator hunters, coyote hunting after season. Everybody's still ready to shoot stuff, and they watch coyotes. If they didn't shoot them during the deer season, when they come by, they'll predator hunt. In the off season, man, use Camo Dust out there and get them in close. Hog hunting, if it has a nose, we can beat it. And deer, hog, elk, bear, works great on bear. Bear have fantastic noses, and you've got people out there that are fixing bear seasons. If it's not already running, it's fixing to. I know it's fixing to start here in Arkansas, September. So
it started in a few states, but it's ramping up.
Yep. Yeah. So bear, anything that smells you.
Hey,
so
Chris, we had
keep mentioning. Hold on, Anthony. You keep mentioning Arkansas.
Yeah.
Do you watch college football at all?
Yeah.
How is Arkansas going to do?
Hey, man, we got a fantastic baseball team, don't we? Aren't they all?
Hey, South Carolina's baseball team, legit.
Yeah. No, Razorbacks are they'll be all right this year. Pittman will get them straightened out, lined out, and on the right track if he hasn't already. So got some hungry kids up there that want to beat people up and hit them in the mouth. So you just got to have a group of mean kids that want to win, and I think that's what being a Razorback's all about. So
as long as you can beat Vanderbilt in Tennessee, you're good, right?
Yeah. Beat them all. You start the season off with Georgia, and let's hit them in the mouth and start it off right.
Oh, now come on! Don't put that evil on me, man. I think Arkansas does win. I think Arkansas does win 7-8 games this season. I think they're going to be legit this year.
We've got diehard fans that'll say 10. So it's of course we've got the same fans. Yeah, you got fans. I don't know. I'm not putting prediction on it. I'd like to see 8 or 9 wins for sure. You got to beat the Texas team. You can't let. I'm sick of losing to Missouri. You got to hit Missouri in the mouth. You got to anybody in the East. You can't lose the East games just because that. And wouldn't it be nice to knock Alabama off?
Amen.
Somebody's got to do it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, Chris, before we wrap this podcast up, we had 6 people put in for a drawing for your Camo Dust.
Okay.
So if you want to pick a random number between 1 and 6, so we can go ahead and mail off some of this Camo Dust to them.
Let's go with 5.
5. Awesome. Can't thank you enough, man, for coming on today's podcast. If you're interested in Camo Dust,
cut
go
out
to
on me. Who won?
5. I don't know who the name is yet. I don't have my Facebook up to look.
I got you.
So, so all of our viewers, if you're interested in getting Camo Dust, go to www.camodust.com, or you can purchase it on Amazon. Thanks so much, Chris Parnell, for coming in today, man. Can't thank you enough for supporting us. And
yes, sir.
Maybe we can get you back in after deer season.
Yeah.
We got big bucks. So
what are you talking about, AJ? I'm waiting for Chris to be like, "Hey, John, let's go to Arkansas. Come on, buddy.
Come on. I'll put you in. I've got trees all over the place. I got
plenty of trees around here. I just can't see shit. Trees ain't the problem. I see trees all the time.
Yeah, I've got trees. I can tell you can shoot at a doe for sure. We've got a good little spot. Arkansas's got a lot of good hunting. We got a lot of public ground, so we can pick a spot and go see it and not have to worry about a hog walking through on some of them, and maybe you guys will get lucky and shoot you an Arkansas buck.
We'll get that set up
shooting. That'd be cool shooting a hog. It don't bother me.
Well, I've only got one piece of public, and really I've never seen a hog hunting. I hope I don't ever. The public ground I hunt, it doesn't have hogs yet. Of course, they say they're coming, so.
Knock on wood.
Right.
You better go ahead and knock right now, or this year it'll be everywhere.
Man, there's something. I did see my first bear in the spot last year, but I didn't get to hunt a lot last year. I was mailing cans out, so I've got to do better this year. So
how's that when you're sitting in a tree and a big order comes in? Do you have to climb out of the tree and go fill the order?
I was sitting. The last buck I killed was 2 years ago, and I was sitting in a tree. I'd hunted this spot five trips and yet to see a buck. And I was giving up. It was December 15th, and I said, I'm done for the season. I missed 9 calls, and I'm sitting up there thinking, man, these people are wanting to talk Camo Dust. I've got to get down. So I climbed down. From the time I'm 18 feet up, I hit the bottom, and I actually answered the last one right there and was talking at the base of my tree as I was packing stuff up. And I was done, pretty much to hunt. And I said, well, I'm going to shed hunt on the way out. It's December 15th. I'll find an old one in here, ground bear. So I hit this ditch, and I was kind of walking through the ditch, and it was eyeball level with the bank, so I could see a pretty good clip through the woods. And I was walking and kind of looking for an old white shed out there. And as I come up to a low spot in the ditch where I could see, I had my stand on my back, carrying my bow, had already taken my release off, and stepped up, and it was in a little cane thicket. And I stepped up, and as I stepped up, that little drip that comes off your boot, I did it slow. I was still trying to be sneaky through the woods. And I had a little 3-mile-an-hour breeze hit me right in the back. And beautiful morning. Should have seen 30 deer and shot a 150. It was that kind of morning, And I caught movement, and when I did, it was a 13-inch G2. And I could see his mouth open and tongue hanging out, and he was just panting. But he turned, and I just caught that profile on that left side, and I thought, man, that's a good buck. And he was bedded up in that cane. And I kind of sat there for a second and figured I had messed it up and was going to get to watch him run away, and then I was going to have to figure out a way to hunt again. And I sat there for probably a minute and a half. He turned his head the opposite way and was looking away from me. Now, he's got his back to me, using the wind, and I promise y'all, I'm less than 10 yards from him. He has not gotten up yet. He's looking away, and I set my bow down, ended up getting my stand off my back, got my quick release on, got it on my wrist, picked my bow back up, knocked an arrow, and I was on my knee, and I was thinking, man, am I going to be able to get a arrow through this cane? And I was trying to look, and I was on my right knee, and of course I'm right-handed, so that was going to be weird. And I ended up using my stand, put my elbow on my stand. I just kind of stood up, and I was kind of cracking. When I drew, I couldn't see the deer, couldn't see his vitals, and he peeled away from me, turned his head, and I just froze. And I stayed there. It seemed like 15 solid minutes, but it was probably about 8 seconds. And I was kind of calm hard, and thinking, man, he's fixing to blow out here. I noticed he was panting, breathing about as hard as I was. He looked wet. And anyway, I raised up, and I just went ahead and stood all the way up at full draw. I couldn't see him for limbs, hanging over him that way. And anyway, I ended up wiggling around, and I shot him, and I was 6 steps, about 6. It was about 8 yards, about 10 yards. It was right at 10 yards when I drilled him, and that deer lunged and died. I don't think he went 2 full deer lengths, and then he killed over dead. And he just stopped. I picked him up, man. That was great. I mean, it was a 3 mile an hour breeze blowing right at him, and I slammed him. I didn't even he took up my shot. It would have been run off, but I shot him out of his bed. He didn't go very far, but he had been rutting. I guess he was beat up. I didn't see any puncture wounds or broken bones when I cleaned him or anything like that. But that deer looked like he had slipped in a ditch, and then some mud. He was a muddy deer, but we got him. He was a good one. That's the last one, but yeah.
All right, Chris. Well, we're going to get off of here, bud, but we appreciate you coming on. We love having you as one of the sponsors for this show.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can keep up this relationship and
yes,
get a lot of people on Camo Dust and a lot of people on deer. Because that's both of our goals.
Yeah.
We align perfectly.
Send me pictures of deer. Send me pictures on the Facebook. Like our Facebook page, and when you get one using Camo Dust, we have a best here in January. Everybody brings their bucks and gets them scored and do all that. We have a booth set up there, and I put a big TV up, and if you kill some people don't put their bucks in the Big Buck Classic, but if you kill one using Camo Dust and it hits my Facebook page, I run it on the big TV, and I like to tell people they make the Big Buck Classic whether they enter a deer or not. So your face will be for everyone to see. So.
Awesome, Chris.
Yep. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Chris. Have a good day, man.
Yes, sir. Yep. Good luck, y'all, this season.
Later.
You too.
All right,
Great
Anthony,
show, man.
That was a good show. I love having Chris on. I love having Chris around. He's a great guy.
Yep.
We're going to wrap this one up here. We want to remind everybody about all of our great sponsors and our raffle. Please, if you haven't already, go hit this raffle up. It's going to help get vets outdoors, and you win cool stuff. Like it's a win-win.
Yeah. All that money is going toward the.
Go ahead.
Oh, well. All that money is just going towards our deer slam hunts, our outfitter hunts. So.
Yeah. And then, of course, the guest we had on today, Chris, with Camo Dust, a great sponsor, Appalachian Custom Calls for all your call needs. I think they're coming out with the grunt call this year. You got to check that out. Cousins Rookum Juice. I love it. It's great. Go check them out at Old Indian Tricks.
Great mock's great. He also has a doe and heat scent. It's called Cooter Juice. Go to Old Indian Tricks, LLC.com.
Don't spill it in your car.
Yeah, and don't spill it in your car.
VIP products, the broadheads. I love them. I probably will never use another broadhead. And look for this year. They said they're coming out with some more, so be looking out for those as well. And I think that's it, man. We crushed it.
Yeah, man.
We're done.
Good show. Have a good day, man.
Take it easy.
See.